I wanted to respond to some of the points that were made in the comment section of my latest Tiger Woods video and to also make a few new points. The first point that I want to address is that someone said that we don't know that he slept with all those women. Most of their stories are unconfirmed. While this is true, and by no means do I believe everything they said, especially that woman talking about she got an abortion, yeah right. You're coming out now trying to get fame and money off of having slept with him supposedly, but you aborted the evidence? How convenient. But anyway, like I was saying, even if he didn't sleep with all those women, as far as his reputation is concerned, it really doesn't matter if he did or not because everybody thinks that he did, possibly including his wife. It's not whether you did it or not, it's whether or not people want to believe that you did, or if they're going to treat you like you did. I mean, we've all seen stories about people or possibly known a person who was charged or accused of a very serious crime, which they were never actually convicted of, but people think they did it anyway. As far as their reputation goes, they might as well have done it because everybody thinks that they did. So saying that, well, we don't really know if he slept with those women, you can't prove it, it really doesn't fucking matter. You don't need hardcore evidence to ruin a reputation. The next thing I want to respond to is people saying that her asking for half is just a divorce strategy. You start high and then it's the other side's job to bargain it down to something that both sides can agree to. Okay, I get that. I really do, but here's where I'm coming from. And just go with me for a minute. I'm tired of the sue-crazy, lawsuit-happy culture in our society. I mean, you tap a person's bumper with your car and you leave a scratch on it, or maybe even a little dent, and they want $10,000. Or you say something that offends somebody and they think all of a sudden that that entitles them to some of your money. I'm tired of people basically just trying to get money for nothing, and not only money for nothing, but large sums of money for nothing. Okay, well, what does that have to do with Ellen Woods? Well, let me just say this. There's no doubt that Tiger did her wrong, and she has every right to be upset and to divorce him and even to get some money from him. Her having 2 kids by him is going to make her damaged goods to other men, especially those in her social class. Even though I think she can remarry if that's what she wants to do, those kids are going to make it harder for her. Especially when you factor in that her kids are from a man who is perceived to be black. Plus, for the time that she was with him, she was part of his image. She helped to complete his perfect family, squeaky clean, family man image. And he couldn't have created that perfect family image without her. And I don't mean her specifically, but I mean his wife, whoever she happened to be. There was one car commercial he did, I think it was for Buick, where he was talking about how he felt safe putting his daughter in that car. Now, even though I don't think he mentioned his wife specifically, Buick was still trying to capitalize on his family man image, and you can't have a family without a wife. She helped make him look good, which he did look good before her, but he had come to an age where it was time for him to move on to the next phase of his life, you know, marriage and the kids, and she was part of that. But even without all that, she was part of his life for that short time. She's been out of the workforce, and I know some people are thinking, oh, poor her, but no, I'm serious. She's going to need money to help her out until she can get her own footing. Alright, all that said, here's what I'm talking about. I could see if Tiger was worth like $100,000 and she was asking for half of that, because half of $100,000 in today's economy, today's world, is nothing. All that'll be blown just trying to get her another house to live in. And that's if the lawyers don't eat all it up or half of it up. Same thing if he were only worth $1 million. I think I heard a figure one time that lawyers get 1/3 of the money in a divorce. I don't know if that's true or not or just hearsay, but they do get a lot of both parties' money in a divorce. That's why people hate them so much. But anyway, I could even see it if Tiger had $5 million. But when we start talking about that this man is a billionaire and she wants half of that for 5 years, and yes, I know he cheated, and I can only imagine how that feels to be cheated on with that many women, or at least perceived to have been cheated on with that many women. And I'm not going to discount the hurt and the pain of finding out that your husband went astray. He supposedly loved you and he's fucking other women. I get it, I really do. But is that worth half of $1 billion after only 5 years of marriage? It's not like he was beating her, or that he had some drug problem, or he was beating the kids, or he was molesting kids. I mean, really, do you need $500 million to compensate you for his cheating? I would give her $100 million at the most. That is plenty of compensation for anything Tiger ever did to her. And let's not forget, she lived a pretty nice life while she was with him. It's not like they were living in homeless shelters or something, or she had to work or anything. And some people have been saying, well, she's probably not going to get that much. Probably not, but she could. When you ask, you could receive. Because one other thing, Tiger Woods wants to put a gag order on her and she's refusing. So he might possibly give in and say, okay, I'll give you all this money if you shut up. Now, I don't really think he'll give her all that money just for her to be quiet, but I mean, it could happen. I mean, you never know when a judge might be out to get you. Just like OJ when he went to court for stealing his own stuff back. Even though I think he had something to do with Nicole and Ron's death, he wasn't on trial for that. But they put him in jail for all those years to get him back for getting away with those murders. When Tiger goes to court for this divorce, they may put him on trial for being a perceived black man married to a white woman like that, and then having the nerve to disrespect her with the cheating. So you never know what the judge is going to be on when you go to court. But anyway, getting back to the lawsuit thing for a moment, I learned from watching all the judge shows on TV that a lawsuit is supposed to make you whole, not to put you in a better position than you were before the person did you wrong. For example, if you were driving an '89 Toyota Corolla and somebody in a Mercedes hits your car and totals it, that doesn't entitle you to a 2010 Toyota Corolla. The judge is going to give you whatever your car was worth, and assuming that you weren't injured and didn't miss any days from work, that's all you're going to get. Now, Ellen's going to come out better than she went in regardless, but she doesn't need to come out $500 million better. There should be a cap on how much she can get. I mean, if he had $10 billion, does she deserve half of that? Or $100 billion, should she get half of that? I mean, after a while, it just starts to sound like a frivolous lawsuit. I mean, yes, she was wrong, but now she deserves to get the whole world? Divorce is supposed to be the severance of a relationship, and the division of property and deciding who's going to get the kids when. But what divorce has become is a way for women to say, oh, you just wait till we get to court, motherfucker, I'm going to get your ass. I'm going to get as much from you as I can because I can. Divorce has become a way for women to stick it to their former husbands. And some of you might be thinking, well, good, but this is just going to make men not want to get married. If you think it's hard to find a husband now, wait till men start saying fuck it to marriage. The party is only going to last so long, and then there's going to be a backlash. And women all over the world, or at least in Western countries, are watching this. The Woods divorce, that is. It's sending the message that divorce is a good way for women to make money, but not only that, it's a good way to get him back for all the times he pissed you off. Now, some people are asking me, well, if it was you, you wouldn't ask for half? To be perfectly honest, if it were me, we wouldn't be getting a divorce. Not over this. I'm not saying everything would go back to the way it was. We'd have to talk some things out and possibly come to some kind of an agreement. But one thing I'm also sick of is this divorce culture. I think people are starting to give up on marriages too quickly, especially when there are children involved. She's asking for sole custody, and she's from Sweden, and there's a possibility she could take them over there to live. That's going to take them out of regular contact with their father. She should be required to keep her kids close to their father. They're not just her kids, they're both of their kids, and she shouldn't be using them to hurt him if that's what she's doing. I'm not saying she is, but if that's what she's doing by taking them away, then she shouldn't be doing that. And some people were saying that my first video was very biased, and it was. But I guess it was because, like I said, I'm tired of people suing for anything and everything. I'm tired of people trying to get something for nothing. And I guess when I look at that situation from the outside, of course, I don't see why it wasn't something that they couldn't have worked out, especially when considering the children. I think that what's best for them should be put as a very high priority, if not top priority. They should be put above her embarrassment about being cheated on, or her feeling hurt about being cheated on. Again, it's not like he was beating her, or like he was a complete fucking asshole. And just a little side note, most women don't even divorce their husbands for cheating. There's a stat, and I'll try to find a link to it, that 75% of women who get cheated on, and of course if they know they've been cheated on, they still stay with their husbands. And it's the exact opposite for men who know they've been cheated on. 75% of them do divorce their wives. But anyway, I just don't think that what he did warrants half his money. And I'm not saying she's a gold digger, I just asked the question. But when I saw she was asking for half his money, I was thinking, well, like, what was she doing? Sitting back, lying in wait, just waiting for him to mess up so she could take half of his money? But now we'll never know, because he did give her a reason. Like I said before, he really did fuck himself. Peace.